And this is coming from the front view. Looks pretty good. The path of your hand is fine. Your elbows are nice and high from this angle. We'll see more of that from the side, but it looks pretty good. I guess what I noticed the most from this view is your hands themselves and the position they're in and how they're grabbing the water. Rather than being like a paddle, they're almost like a scoop with that wrist, and especially that right hand. And it's hard because when you get close, that's what disappears of the shot. But you just keep watching it a few times. Sometimes your hands are really loose, and so then you're just losing the water that you were holding. And then sometimes they feel rigid, like almost like if you made a duckbill position with your hand and pointing out. And that's not moving you forward. You always want your palm pointed towards the wall behind you. You don't ever want it pointed towards the side, otherwise the water, let's see if we can get you back, then the water's not moving the right direction. So right here I feel like your palm is just for a couple seconds, I mean not even a couple seconds, just a couple frames, actually kind of pointed that way rather than down and behind you. And then you do turn it back as you pull through, like right there it's back. I know it's hard to see, but and I don't know if the left, and then that left arm slices in, and this is the last stroke, so that's always not quite fair, but it definitely facing sideways right there as you're starting that pull. So we want to set that hand in out in front of you, ready to pull backwards, and not have any loosey-goosey stuff going on. You don't want it too rigid so that it's using muscles you don't need to use to swim and making you tired in your forearm, but you want enough control over it that it's acting like a paddle. So sometimes your hand seems really tight. We could almost probably loosen some of that tension in there, and that might help too. And all of that will actually radiate back through. Could be some of the issues when your neck gets stiff and stuff is holding those hands tenser than you need to swim. That's really all I'm noticing here. That right arm slices in on that last stroke, which I mentioned before, but the high elbow is great. You got that going. And the path is from front to back rather than a big S pull. Looks pretty good. One more time.